ninth wave that started with the earthquake in Japan, and just an amazing amount.
Started with the earthquake in Japan. Let's go back and take a look real quick. And we take a look at when the ninth wave started. We'll look at this. The earthquake in Japan started basically right after the ninth wave started. Do you think all this is just a coincidence? Okay? I don't think so. I think I think that all of the stuff that many of you think is a bunch of BS when it comes to our consciousness or us actually playing out this cosmic game is actually turning out to be what's really happening.
And just an amazing amount of things that are turning our world upside down. I think it's no question that it is October 28, 2011, and it's only October 28, 2011. Some people may dispute this, but I think mostly that is because they haven't studied the Mayan calendar, or because for ego reasons they bought into this other date at an early point without thinking deeply about it, and then they feel, oh, I can't admit that I was wrong. Corn Ireland's up here. The December 21 date is really based on a mechanical cycle, the precession of the equinoxes. And so people, that means it's disconnected to a large body of prophecies that have been produced over the ages that are saying that this is it's sort of a coming of age of humanity from the perspective of a divine plan.
Okay, now he's going to talk about the way that we perceive reality here. So pay attention to this part right here.
That how they relate to the Mayan calendar in detail and so forth. But that's the external part. Mm-hmm. But the external part, you might say, it's coming because of ultimately, because of a change in the human beings. We don't see that because what is affected is the filter through which we perceive reality.
Did you hear that? He says that we don't perceive it because it is the filter for which we perceive reality. But I say that if you can identify the subtleties, like what you guys have already identified, with the movies matching what's going on in the real world. No one planned that stuff. It's the way that you're perceiving reality. Your consciousness is doing this. Okay? And that's why I know this is a cosmic game.
And this is not something we could ever see.
Yeah.
But we can infer that it is happening a shift towards what I would call unity consciousness.
Okay, so he's basically saying that it's a shift towards unity consciousness, which would happen around October 28th, 2011.
And that has a lot of consequences in people and how they experience their own lives. And at least people that I know and interact with have been very strongly affected by this new wave and in all kinds of ways. And very often in a kind of disturbing way, in a way where,
Okay, enough of that right there. Now, I read something in another site that what actually is going to happen as we approach that 28th of October date. And if you can think about all these actors out there, they're playing out all this stuff. In fact, they're turning the world into such chaos right now because they want you to focus all of your attention on all of that. Okay, the more that you focus your attention on that, that's what you become conscious of. And so I'm sure that you guys have all heard about at least the one story where they talk about the Earth splitting into two at a certain point in time. Well, I believe the theory goes kind of like this. Those people that have been focusing all of their attention on the comet Elenin and stuff like that, and you've been basically manifesting that this whole time. And then you've got the other people that are manifesting, they're not sticking with that. They're not Because what's going to happen is we're going to shift into another dimensional state. It's my theory. Somewhere around that October 28th date. And the people that are still focusing their consciousness on Comet Elenin, and they are going to, they're basically going to stay. They're going to stay in this level of dimension, and they're going to get, since they've been focusing all of their attention on that, they're going to get to actually live through all that hell. And all the people that are not doing that, and that are focusing on, not just the good stuff, and it doesn't mean to ignore everything, but if you focus all of your attention on the bad stuff all the time, first of all, you have to weigh the stuff. I mean, what are you going to be able to do? What are you going to do if a comet strikes the Earth? You can't do anything about it. Okay? And all that you can do is worry about it. So you got to figure out where you want to put your attention. And so if this is right, if my theory is right, what's happening right here, right now, is as you concentrate on all of this Comet Elenin stuff, I think it's just the way that this whole experiment's working, this consciousness experiment. I think that it's not some kind of a coincidence that that you're seeing these things being acted out in movies, and they're actually, they're happening in real life. They didn't come up with that. I guarantee you. This is part of some higher experiment of consciousness. It's too surreal. We've got things that date back to Aristotle making quotes, Shakespeare making quotes. Come on, you think they planned it out that long? No, they didn't. This is some kind of a consciousness experiment. And so my recommendation to all you folks out there that are concentrating on Comet Elenin and looking at the sun all the time when you can't compare it to anything else because NASA is your only source of information, I suggest that you at least 51 or more % of your time start focusing on stuff that's beneficial to you and learning about who you are and learning about how to connect with other people, and just lose the fear. The fear is not going to get you anywhere. And I know I drug you through here about 40 minutes of this, but I just started seeing things come together, and I started seeing things that just didn't make sense, that were just too perfect, but yet at the same time surreal, like they weren't real. And I knew that there was something going on when I saw that, so I wanted to bring it to everybody's attention, and I wanted you to realize that if you want to, I have a theory that if you want to make it through the rest of this ninth wave the way that you're supposed to, and I do indeed think that it's real now, after what I've seen, I think you need to stop focusing on all the bad stuff and don't give it any more of your attention. Or at least, be aware of it, but don't give it your focus. Right? Because you can't do anything about that anyway. All it is a big scare. It's just a big scare is all it is. And they're testing you. Whatever this force is that's testing our consciousness, they're testing you to see whether you're going to play into that stuff or whether you're going to play into the love. I guarantee it. So, everybody have a good rest of your ninth wave, and I'll see you on my next video.